All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow, and remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. Today, ladies and gentlemen, got a very special guest for you. Give you a couple of words about my guest. Culture, unity, cooperative economics, keyword, prosper. All the way from Charlotte, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Cackalack, y'all. Give it up for Camillya Masunda. What's going on?
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here and share our story with you.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah, man, look. Okay, so look here. We're going to jump right into it now. All right?
Let's jump.
All right. Now, that lovely display you have next to you there with those lovely bottles, we're going to talk about this, and this is the main reason we're here today, ladies and gentlemen, because let me just tell y'all, we hear black girl magic and all that all the time, queens rolling, boss babes, this, that, what have you. We hear it all the time. I hear it all the time. You hear it all the time. We all hear it all the time. But I always say, how many of us are really making moves? If we're a real boss, that means we can afford and put other people on. So, what did Ty Brownlow do? I went out and got somebody who's a real boss who goes out and puts people on. Okay, so we're about to talk about this Ebony Wine Spirits. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me give y'all a little, background here, because she may not want to toot her own horn, so I'm going to toot it. All right. So, look, the only Black-owned wine and spirits company in Charlotte, North Carolina. All right. Not only that, but it was inspired, correct, by your Congolese roots.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, man, we got culture in there, man, there's a theme. And basically, the Ebony Wines and Spirits, they celebrate Black cultures from all around the world.
Right.
Now,
that's what we do.
Okay. So let's talk about this now. Now, how did you get all involved in, the wine industry? And, let's talk a little bit about Ebony Wine and Spirits.
Okay, well, Ebony Wine and Spirits. Well, my name is Camillya Masunda, as you said. I'm the founder and CEO of Ebony Wine and Spirits. We are Charlotte, North Carolina's first Black-owned wine and spirits company. And really what that means is our brand, we celebrate Black unity and culture from around the world. And our mission is to unite Black cultures everywhere. And it really celebrating the authenticity of us uniting from Western civilization to all over the world, and really putting our economics behind it, so that we can truly build a lasting, strong economic powerhouse when it comes to Black-owned spirits, Black-owned brands in general. And with wine, I really fell in love with wine early on, probably around when I was in college. And it just was something always just eating at me to dig and to find out more. And, I believe in always doing things in purpose. And so really when I started to just taste wine, go to wine tastings, go to events, they just started to add up. But I was never seeing people who looked like me, especially that was in my early 20s. So I would go to tastings, I would go to vineyards, I would go to all these different functions and places, and even walking down the aisles to the point where I would, start looking up and writing down names of these wines. And the more I researched, the more I never knew that, I came to know that, hey, I didn't see my face, but I saw how much, even in spirit, I saw how much we were drinking or how much we enjoyed these things, but we didn't have the representation that we needed, that I believe we needed. And so with that, it was really a catalyst to say, hey, is there space for me? And oftentimes when you can't see yourself in something, I think that makes the world of difference. From our peers, them having 7, 8 to 10 generations of people in wine, and then us not even having one, to be 1% of something, any industry right now in 2021 is just really outrageous, because it shouldn't be a place where anybody is 1%. And it really nudged at me to say, okay, well, it's time that you do something about it. And it really wasn't that you had all because the more you looked into it, it felt like this thing is so expensive to do. This thing is the dream was just getting bigger and bigger. And it was almost like, okay, how are you going to do this? Well, first it was really about learning, just starting to study, starting to learn. When it came to the grapes, the juice, when it came to the region, when it comes to the regions, and all of that was, part of the cocktail that would get me to really establishing our own wine.
Now, okay, you hit on, so you really hit on something right there. Now, you said that you had to really get acquainted with the grapes, like the regions, like these are things that really play into like, okay, this is some okay wine versus, oh no, man, we got the luxury model right here. Oh, no.
Right.
Break out the big money. If you want to drink some of this is 300 and up. This here is
exactly.
Okay. So, but and I don't think that's something that, as you said, there's not a lot of us when you go to these places. There's not a lot of urban representation, let's just say. And but we are like large consumers of wine.
We are definitely major consumers. And when it comes to not being us, oftentimes, my goal and mission with Ebony Wine and Spirits is not just to be a top selling mogul or international company. It is one entity, but it's really to put in front of our children, especially college students and even younger, about crops, about growing, about land, about different things that are lasting and that are beneficial to them, about agriculture, because those are the things that really will be so beneficial when it comes to our numbers not being 1%, and when it comes to the longevity within the wine industry. It's really about introducing the possibility to our youth of what can really happen when we look into farming, when we look into vineyards, when we look into owning land, and really getting our families and community to start investing in education, investing in land, and so that we have ownership within our brands, within our wine.
Okay, so now getting on these key points now. Y'all didn't hear the words we were talking about here. Unity, cooperative economics. Y'all know I'm big on this, people. Y'all know I'm real big on this, okay? We put it together, we can have any and everything we want. So I want to go with that just for a second. Now, you talked about winery, okay? So that's very important. Distribution, how we get it bottled up, how we get it shipped, how we get it out. Pretty much that I know of, there is no, all, African American company that does those things in the wine field. Now, I know doing some research on you all have, the wine bottled in California, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. So.
And everybody needs a start. Everybody has a starting point, and everybody needs a starting point, because I always tell people this. I'm still a student of wine, so it's so much that I am still learning. It's so much to learn, but that's the exciting part, that you getting into this, you don't have to know everything, but you have to be willing to learn, and then you have to be willing to jump. And I know for me, that was the beginning of where everything started. Really was me jumping, me starting to do research, me willing to do the research to learn what is possible.
Okay, so I'm so glad you said that, because that ties directly into where I'm about to go right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, we did our homework around here. We did a little snooping. And I'm going to read part of a quote that you had in Afrocentric magazine up in March of this year. And part of the quote, the latter half of the quote said, "A vision or a dream cannot be established or cannot be established or realized if something doesn't trigger a memory or thought that may have been seen. Now, when I seen that really like that, you know what, it literally jumped off the page and said, hey, you know what, write me down. This is knowledge. So can you just expound a little bit on that if you can, please?
Definitely, I love to expand on that. So I'm gonna explain it in the sense of why, but I'm also gonna explain it firstly in the essence of children. When it's so many things that you can remember, right? You may not remember exactly whatever you ate today, or something, or a phone call that you were supposed to make, right? But it is something, whether it be a preschool teacher, whether it be a zoo visit, whether it be something you saw on TV, even for a fire truck as a little boy that made you remember, like, this was my favorite thing, I'm going to be a firefighter. If you don't have something that triggers you to say, what if? That is the part where representation matters so much. I know for me, my niece, she's 12, but I have them so much into everything that I do so that they get an attachment, so that they have a memory, something that triggers when it comes to entrepreneurship. When it comes to, even if it's not, definitely when it comes to wine, but even if it's not wine, whether it's our school, we have a kids squad, but it's something going to always to nudge at them. They think that, I'm just training them when it comes to work and business. This is true, but I want them to be triggered in their thoughts that something is constantly nudging at them when it comes to economics, when it comes to working together. I always saw my auntie working with other people. She was always trying to build up her community in the sense of investing and giving everybody a portion, because that is what triggered that. That is something that triggers you to say, okay, I realize this is where I'm supposed to be. This has significant meaning to you. And if something doesn't have meaning, I think I always say this, like when we always hear those stories from way back in the day that, oh, my family owned this amount of acres and they used to have this, and somebody in my family sold it all away. Yeah. The only way that people sell something away when a certain family member passes away is when they have it. They don't have any memories triggered. It has no emotional value. It has no. It's more. I believe that it has to be more than a monetary value, because when something is built and you are a part of it, that is why people are reluctant to say, okay, I want an investor, but I don't really want to give this. I know how much I invested in it. I know how much we built this company up, so I'm gonna just keep building it. But hey, what if it just makes people be more like this. Like, I'm gonna hold on to this. This means something. It is nothing like a company that has the attachment, that whoever created it has the significant attachment to it, where, hey, it means something. That's when I can't just sell it away. That means I can't just give it. It's like it's not nothing. It's not anything. So when in that statement that you spoke on, it's really about having this memory that is triggered, that is purposeful, that makes you want to get up, that makes you want to go forward and do something, build something, obtain something. And that's I think for us, especially within starting Ebony Wine and Spirits, that's definitely the catalyst. I remember, it's nothing like remembering like I remember my first sip of wine. I remember me feeling in a place where, hey, I really feel out of place here. I'm not educated in wine. It doesn't, I want to learn it, but I don't even feel like I can. Who am I going to ask these questions to? Or remember going to a store and you looking at all these wines and you're saying to yourself, like, for me, I always ask, like, what's Black owned? As much as I can, mm-hmm. I put the dollar back in our community. And so when it hits that, okay, that's the trigger. The first time when you say, hey, none of this wine, it's over 60, 70 wines in the store, and not one of them are Black owned. And that's a problem. And I can't just keep investing into other communities and can't keep investing into other brands. And then I know for a fact that this should be something that I should at least be putting our money back into, in a sense. If I can buy that brand, but I really need to be buying this one too.
Now, you know what? First and foremost, we're going to give a round of applause for that because, well, no, I mean, this is real. At the end of the day, when you look, I've been that guy to go into, you know, an establishment, liquor store, what have you. Hey, you know what? I really want this or that, but I really don't know, like, okay, I really don't know what to get, you know. I'm not as, you know, keen on this type of IPA, or I'm not as keen on this type of bourbon or what have you, you know, but I know I want something, you know, smooth or whatever. So yeah, if you're saying, man, okay, what's Black owned? Okay. And you're right. Like, let's just like take your like regular gas station or whatever that serves alcohol. When you go into a regular gas station that serves alcohol or whatever, they're just what? There may be Budweiser, there may be Miller. If there's some wine, it's like Barefoot. There you go. Barefoot. It's always Barefoot. If you go to Walgreens, Barefoot. You know, if you go to CVS, Barefoot. You know, or what's the wine they have out in California everybody loves? Stella Rosa. You know. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah. So
and we love it so, and there's nothing wrong with those wines, guys. But I'm telling you right here, if you could really, if they did a census on how much of their budget comes from marketing to minority and Black people in general, you would be appalled. You'd be like, oh my God. But you also have to ask yourself, what initiatives are in place to give back to your community? What programs does this company have that are directly impacting your community? And it's very important to be intentional about it. It's no more excuses. We're not in a time where we get to make these excuses. As much as we have so many of our Black brothers and sisters who are losing their lives, as much as we have when it comes to our economy and impoverished neighborhoods and from homelessness and looking for affordable housing, we cannot afford to turn a blind eye when it comes to Black economics. We have to be mindful of where our dollars go and who these companies are supporting. And if you don't know, if you can't say that this company, if it's not Black owned, if you can't say, hey, I know for a fact that this company is invested, they have these scholarships, they have, they're attached to this nonprofit, a portion of their profits go straight to this program. If you cannot say that, it's high time that it's time to really be intentional about what we do and where our dollars go.
That's where the power is. You are definitely correct. Okay, all right. So see, I wanted her to explain. We broke it down. We delivered it for you. Okay, all right. So we're gonna get back into this wine for a minute here. Now, those lovely bottles you have next to you, like what flavors do these wines come in?
So this is our newest varietal. It actually will be available May 20th. It's called Kinshasa, if you can see the color of it. So Kinshasa is the third largest. So if you are in North Carolina, and I live in Charlotte, so Kinshasa is so you would go to Congo. Congo is where my family is from. Kinshasa would be like the city. And so it's the third largest in Africa. And we call this the taste of the sun. Kinshasa is the taste of the sun. And so you're going to get a lot of tropical notes. You're going to get a lot of peach, a lot of plum. And it's a sparkling wine. So it's very fruit forward and similar to a champagne. So yeah, it's definitely a spring and summer wine, but we call it the taste of the sun.
Okay. Man, look, my mouth is over here watering. I'm like, so yeah, tropical notes and it's peaches and what? Yeah, yes, okay, all right. I don't have a glass, but if I did, you know what? Let me try some of that. Yeah,
Here you go.
sure.
This is all for you. If I could pass it straight through the computer, I would.
But no, so okay, what other flavors do you have here?
Okay, so well, right here, I'm about to finish this up, but this is our Red Fusion. It's a platinum series. It's a nice Malbec, which is like so it's a blend of a few different grapes, and this is a very smooth, a very smooth tart, but yet a sense of tanginess, but a very smooth wine. It has notes of cherry, a very smoky undertone. So it's definitely paired well with that you would pair it well with like a lamb or steak. But my favorite is definitely lamb. But it's if you like red wine, you would love our Red Fusion, which is a red blend.
Okay, all right. I'm trying to tell y'all, get on the train. Okay.
We also have a Moscato, and we also have a Riesling, and we have a Sparkling Rosé as well.
Okay, all right. Rosé, Moscato, and a Riesling. All right. Okay, so we hitting all corners here. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's exactly what we tried. That's exactly what we did. We wanted to for the wine connoisseur, we have something for you. But if you are just getting into wine, wherever you are in your wine journey, we have something perfectly paired to your take. What you're looking for.
All right. Okay. Now, all right. Where can we get the wine?
So you can order, Ebony Wine and Spirits, you can order this online. It's an e-commerce brand, but you can also, in North Carolina and South Carolina and in Georgia, we are actually launching nationally in May as well. You're going to be we're on a tour right now. So we're headed to, if you go on our Instagram, Facebooks, and Twitters, you'll see our different dates. So we call it a tour for the Ebony Experience. We're headed to Hamer, South Carolina this Saturday. We're going to Charleston May 8th, big event there. It's going to be a sip and paint Ebony Wine Experience party. From that, we go to Alabama. From there, we go to Georgia. So we have a lot of different, from New York to Texas, Houston. We have a lot of different places we're about to hit. We have received tremendous support. So we want to I'm very big on loving on the people, sending that message of unity and Black love. And I really want to put my hands on the people, love on the people, and just spread our energy of Ebony love with the Ebony Experience.
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, man. Look, she's trying to spread that love. Y'all spread love back. Ebony Wine and Spirits, okay? Let's support people. Seriously. I mean, look here. Hennessy is not putting money in the hood, okay? Let's just keep it real. Heineken definitely ain't putting money in the hood. Miller, all that other stuff. Barefoot definitely ain't putting money in it.
Listen, it's so many Black-owned wines and beer. It's wine companies, it's spirits, it's bourbon, it's vodkas, it's tequilas. It's time to do the research and find these brands and really support them. A lot of them, majority of them are e-commerce. You can order them online. Obviously, I want to be frank with you. It's weird. Most brands that are building, when it comes to our being Black owned, you have to understand where we are and starting in the investment that we're putting in these companies. And so we may not be in a store that's near you today, but give it a few months, give it a year. I'm telling you, they're coming. So you just have to we're asking our consumers, our supporters, to do what you can to reach out, whether it's shop online, whether it's find a brick and mortar who sells Black-owned wines and spirits. Do whatever you can, because that's how we build our communities, by supporting these brands and really making this dollar circulate. Black-owned wine and spirits in general. Black people have a major stake as consumers. And so with that being said, we have to understand our buying power within this industry and why it's so important to support ownership.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, we like luxury. Okay. I know I like luxury. I mean, man, look here. I like my luxury. Okay. Okay. But I always say, why have what everybody else is having? Why can't I be different? Why can't I have something, that's of quality, but different than what they normally have? This is luxury, ladies and gentlemen. Ebony Wine and Spirits. Luxury. Don't be like everybody else, man. Be the person who is going to turn everybody else on to what is the new. Okay, be the trendsetter. Don't be the copycat. There you go. All right, we're about to move. Okay, train is moving. Okay, so let me just ask, I just have a few questions because we've been having a jam session over here. I don't know.
Right, we have. It's just that natural flow.
Okay, man. So I'm loving it. We're gonna keep it going for just a few. But now let me just ask this question to you. Now, you're building your empire. Okay, what is it about building your empire personally that you find most rewarding?
Legacy. At the end of the day, you want to say when you were here and when you were on this earth that you came and you did your job, that you impacted your community, that you impacted the world. I don't believe people are put here to just come here, do enough, and then pass on. I believe that you are put here for divine purpose, and it's so important and it's rewarding for me to know that, hey, I really affected this person's life. I was just a keynote speaker at an event, and the love, I'm talking, the people, they would just come, even before I spoke. I mean, I'm like, they came from somewhere out of town and I just want to meet you. And when I say these hugs was so good, and they were just like, you couldn't tell these people that's not my cousin, I'm telling you. And that's the rewarding part. I believe your gifts will always make room for you, and your purpose and your passion will be your paycheck. And so, but you have to walk in something that is meant for you. And I get excited every day in what I do. I literally feel overjoyed in every avenue when it comes to business and what I do, even as far as our nonprofit, of what I get to do, and it's interact, impact, and love on people. And for me, that's the most rewarding thing for me.
I love it, man. Look here, y'all bring that great energy, man, because she can get respected. Okay, all right. So now, let me just ask. Now, you got into wine in college in your early 20s. Okay, how has the business changed from when you first got in to now?
Okay, well, let's be clear. I got into as in studying, found the love for, fell in love with wine in my 20s. I'm 33. Okay. So I didn't, honestly, people really think that I've been doing this for a long time. It hasn't even been a full year.
What?
No, it'll be a full year in October. What? It'll be a full year. Yeah, it's just everything is going so fast and the support is just overwhelming. I'm telling you, everybody thinks I've been doing this for a long time, and I have to tell them, I'm like, hey, family, no, I started my vision. I started writing stuff down. It always comes with a vision. I started writing stuff down and working on stuff, in 2018, 2019. I was supposed to launch early 2020. Of course, pandemic, it pushed us way back, and it kind of gave a segue to say, hey, all right, sis, are you doing this or not? Because we done built the company up. You need to go. My spirit guides, my ancestors was saying, listen, if you jump, we gonna make sure you fly. Just go. And so that's really how we started, during that time, because I couldn't hold back anymore. It wasn't like we could my plan was to have a big event at the venue, invite all these people, have this big party, and it was none of that. So yeah, it was like, hey, I pivoted, not instead of panicking. And after I panicked a few times, and then I just, relaxed and said, okay, what are we, I'm gonna zen on and said, what are we gonna do? But yeah, from exactly when I started, and it's so funny because I was watching the other day, I was watching my first interview. Oh my God. Oh my God.
But those are the growing pains, and you go through
it. Was the growth. That's what I'll say, the growth. Because, honey, I was just all over the place and talking, looking the wrong places. And yeah, so I think about it now. But the industry now, I think people, and that's from the wine industry in general, are learning who we are. I think we are really coming in as like, everybody's like, who are these people? Right. Like, who is this girl and where is she from and what is she doing? So like now it's really like, it's starting to feel like the eyes are on y'all. Like, so what y'all about to do? Okay. But it feels amazing. How is it for me? Really, how has it changed? I'm more knowledgeable. The more time I have, the more I'm just constantly learning, constantly reading. And then even from a business perspective, I have other businesses, but still, and this is different things I have to learn, from permitting to you name it, to sales and marketing. And I've always been good at certain things like that when it comes to business, but this is something different because one, off the bat, when we jumping out the gate, everything is from a global eye. And so now it's just like, hey, I'm getting the support. I was like coming from all the countries, and they're like, sis, we ready for this wine. So what you gonna do? How are you gonna get it here? And so now, yeah, we have so many different opportunities. We are in a place where we're already jumping off the back of doing something that companies try to do for years, when it means connecting outside of the country, when it means connecting with, people who are consumers too. But people don't realize, the more you know, the more you research. But the United States is one of a major exporter of wine. Oh, yeah. We are we are a powerhouse when it comes to wine exports. And so that's what you want to get. That's what you want to get into. As much as you can import anything, you don't always hear about what the United States is exporting. And so for me, from the business aspect, it's definitely doing a lot of studying, a lot of learning when it comes to exports and freights and different things of that nature and how things work. But me being Congolese and still having family in Africa and family who speak different languages, I feel like I was literally like gifted so much. It was like, here, what you gonna do with it? And so everything is happening, like I said, really fast. But the wine industry is changing because I'm not as nervous anymore. I'm not. I'm still very, very fresh and very, very new. But I know for a fact that when we came in, we could not be a typical wine company. We could not just be your average Black-owned brand when it comes to wine. We had to be unique in coming in and being us, because people have to understand, you're as a Black person, you have so many gifts, and you get to do things that other people don't get to do when it comes to our uniqueness, our colors, our rhythm, the way we talk. And it's, that we set the trends around the world. And this is really like, hey, do you understand what gifts that you got from just being born how you are? And so those are all the things that we get to do when it comes to our brand. And if you go to our Instagram and go to our Facebook and everything like that, you're going to see those tremendous uniqueness from hair, us celebrating hair, us celebrating the diversity within Black culture, because we come in all shapes, all sizes, all looks, all hair textures. And so that alone is something, the uniqueness that you get to put in your brand, all so many different. And that's why we said wine and spirits, the celebration of unity and culture across the globe, as far as Ebony, because we get to talk about who we are. We get to celebrate who we are. And that's literally our mission. So yeah, how has it changed? It's changed a lot because of who we are and what we get to bring to the table.
All right. Look, enough said, ladies and gentlemen. Mic is dropped. There you have it. Okay. First came in to how's it going right now? Okay, man. So let's just rotate here, okay? Because you are a businesswoman, and we're going to wrap it up in just a few, but we want to talk about all the things that you do. Well, some of the things that you do, because, man, you do a lot. All right, okay. But I want to talk about the Cultural Giving Tree LLC. Can you just give me like a 2 to 3 minute breakdown of like what that is? Because I read some stuff.
I would love to.
I love it. Okay, so tell me about it. Tell my audience.
Audience. So in 2016, me and my business partner, i.e. my mother, Denise McLaughlin, I've been working in childcare forever. And she has been teaching and growing businesses that were not, hers for a long time. And so we stepped out on faith and started our own brand in our own company called the Cultural Giving Tree for Early Learning. And so I graduated from an HBCU, Historically Black University, if you don't know. Johnson C. Smith University, Golden Bulls. Shout out to y'all. And so I just knew from working I worked with I love children, period. So, but I've worked with children from all walks of life. And I've seen what lacks when it comes to education. And with my passion for education, my mother's passion for education, we developed a child development center that I call a mini HBCU. And so we care for and educate children from 6 weeks to 12 years, nurture, love on, from mentoring, whatever it's school. It's a mini school. And what's so unique about us is that we teach from affirmations to meditation to yoga, to planting, to, for teaching them to grow their own food, from the arts to pottery to so many different things that especially children who are coming from, a lot of them who come from low income backgrounds would not have the opportunity to have this type of education. And so we are able to really teach, mentor, and love on them in a way of, saying from birth, I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am intelligent. I love my brown skin. I love my brown hair, all things to build them up from birth. And I tell you, this is so important because when they go into certain schools and when they go out into different programs, they do, oftentimes they don't get to learn about who they are, the heritage, the history that they come from in a positive light. And so our students and our parents, and like I said, some of our kids are from low income backgrounds. Some of our parents are doctors, lawyers, but it doesn't matter because here, all of our children are our children. And so it's really a village of parents and of educated teachers who are degree professionals who focus on learning and advancing our children in a way that by the time it's time for them to go into a school age program such as kindergarten or first grade, most of our kids are skipping kindergarten. They're going straight into first grade. Most of our children are well beyond grade level. They're reading at ages of 2 and 3. It's a program that catalysts their education. It really doesn't hold them back, and it pushes them in a way that they love from music. Our children love music, and they have different ways that they learn that are specifically how they learn, and we celebrate them and who they are and their uniqueness. From them coming in, even if they want to come in dressed like Superman and Supergirl, every day of the week, we love celebrating their uniqueness, their arts, from them planting, from us painting on the tree, from us picnics outside, whatever it is that we do to celebrate who they are, but also utilizing STEM and utilizing our local libraries and programs that come into our center that are beneficial for them in their growth. And so we are actually Charlotte's first Afrocentric child development center as well. And again, that's very unique because it's hard oftentimes to find programs that are Afrocentric based when it comes to education, and especially early education.
Okay, see, so establishing vision. Okay, we're gonna go back to that quote, establishing vision, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. If you're letting kids come in and, I mean, in pretty much in their purest form, be themselves, and tapping into what makes them unique and great, and what
Exactly.
they're like cultivating that, and they're harnessing that, and there's no shame in, you know, being this or being that. Like, as you said, there's a village mentality. They're all our children. No one is separated. No one is casted out. Everyone is, there's true equity here. Okay. So
It really is. It really, really is. And people have to understand the purest form matters, because it matters that before anybody can tell you what you're not or what you can't do, you have people around you telling you you are amazing. You can do this. You can do absolutely anything. You know, there are three, and like, people can't, let me tell you something. I call it our early scholars preschool program. These kids can tell you there are 3 branches of government. They can name every state. They can name their continents, oceans. Like, when I tell you, it's like, people watch, because sometimes we have recordings on our Instagram. When I tell you, people are blown away by how much they know. But I'm telling you, kids perform amazing when children, just like adults, when they are loved properly, and they are loved genuinely, they catalyze something in them that makes them want to just be the best that they can be. They pride themselves on being the best and not holding back when it comes to what they can learn. They want to learn. They love learning.
And that's what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, people, that's what it's about. It's about learning. Okay. Man, we've been sitting up here for a minute. All right.
Have we?
No, look here. I love it. I mean, because look, I can't say anything for anybody else. I'm learning. Okay. I'm learning. Like, I like this. Like, you know, I like it when first and foremost, you just blew me away when you just told me, man, you haven't even been doing this a full year and you're already okay. So that's just mind blowing in itself. But all the other things you have going on behind that, and at the end of the day, it's all a theme behind everything. And one of those themes, as I said it earlier in the interview, ladies and gentlemen, unity, cooperative economics. Okay. So we've come to the last question, the question that my show's known for. So I have to ask.
Sure.
What is the one word that best describes you, and why?
Relentless. And I would say why, because I believe that everything about me is unstoppable, that I am capable of absolutely anything. And if whatever goal that I set, I will accomplish. And when it comes to being relentless, it means being unstoppable. And so I have tapped into my gifts, into my purpose, and I know who I am. And so that makes me relentless when it comes to striving for my people and pushing them and celebrating them in their best and purest form to be who they are meant to be.
All right. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Before we get out of here, how can people get in contact with you? If people want to get in contact with you, hey, look, I love everything you said. man, I want to know what's up with this wine. I want to know everything that's going on with Miss Masunda. How can people get in contact with you?
All right. Hello, people, family, because we're family now. We've been here for a while. So, one, thank you for allowing me to love on you during this duration of our time that we've been together. I truly appreciate you. Please follow and support at Ebony Wine Spirits on Instagram, at Ebony Wine Spirits on Facebook, and Wine with Ebony Wine Spirits in our Facebook group. Also, you can follow my personal page at Combo Queen 08. So you can see all the gems of my real life stuff. It's a YouTube show of my daughter and I and my niece. Not really. I'm just playing. My regular life is. But yeah, definitely tap in. Follow us on Twitter at Ebony Wine. And yeah, be sure to look at, if you Google the name Camillya Masunda, it'll come up. Please look at our tour dates. I want to meet you. I want to love on you. I want to share some of this good energy. And I want to celebrate you and who you are in your business or just in your life. Let's keep inspiring each other and keep uplifting each other.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Miss Camillya Masunda. Okay, check it out. Ebony Wine Spirits, people. Support. All my people out there on the East Coast, especially in South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina. Yes, y'all know. Come on now. Don't make me call y'all out. Support. Even the people in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I know y'all don't want me to shout y'all out because Conway people don't want to, But anyway. Okay, just support. We always talking about support. But look, man, this has been Word with Ty Brownlow. I have been your host, Ty Brownlow. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Word with Ty Brownlow. Or, man, just go to my website, www.tybrownlow.com. Get this wonderful interview, plus other great interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, we out. Peace.